This is a Flying Cow production.
Well, hello and welcome back to the Great Film Challenge. I, of course, am your host, Clay Johnson, the Flying Cow himself, and here with me is my nephew, Aaron. Aaron, how we doing today?
Good.
Good.
11.
Huh?
I'm 11 after
You're cranked to 11.
I'm cranked to 11. This is the Great Film Challenge.
Absolutely. All right. I will say before we get into that, I want to sidetrack just a little bit. In a personal note to the manufacturers of these posters, these bucket list posters. Can I just say, like, if you've ever seen these posters, and you can look them up online. It's like 100 movies bucket list or 100 albums, and I think they've got. I think I told you, Aaron. I looked up the 100 movies bucket list, and I found the one that you have, but and then I also found ones that, like, it wasn't like I think I saw ones that was like 100 comedies or something like that. But there was another one that was 100 movies bucket list that had completely different movies on it. And I'm just like, okay, all right.
I think this one, the brand that did this was called like Tendor, like Tendor.
Sure.
I don't know.
But like the way that it's like set up is that, you know, it's meant to be like a thing that you go through one at a time.
Yeah.
And so every time you watch a movie, you're supposed to like scratch the thing off, and there's like a fun little image behind it. I mean, when I first saw it, I thought maybe it was going to be movie posters, but they're not. They're more like pop art images. Very color forward. You know, they're looking for kind of a silhouette and a pop of color, kind of thing. And you know, the images are fine, but when I saw that it was scratch off, I was assuming that it was going to be like scratch off.
Yeah.
Like lottery scratch off or things like that.
Fairly simple.
Yes. Every time I've had any sort of scratch off thing, I can do it with my thumbnail.
Yeah.
No big deal. These, you have to have a quarter or some sort of coin, or it will not budge. Yeah. And even then, at least on the movie one, guys, it does not need to be that hard.
Yeah, y'all need to get this fixed.
Like because like we've ripped one or two just trying to scratch the stuff off. And the other ones, they look kind of, you know, like they're not fully scratched off because we couldn't get enough of it off without worrying that we were going to rip it. You've got a music one.
Yeah.
You've had no problems with that one.
Yeah, so far, no. Like, Live at Folsom Prison has a little bit extra on it.
Sure.
Same with The Night at the Opera, but the other two were just fine, honestly.
Yeah, no, they look beautiful.
Yeah.
Compared to your movie one right next to it that looks kind of janky.
It does.
Yeah, I mean, the Indiana Jones thing that I ripped off, you really have to be in the exact right position to see it. Otherwise, you can't tell what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, partially that's your light reflecting off of it, but it's also just kind of, you know, it's janky. But yeah, sorry whoever made these posters, but you know, do better. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, we do want to go ahead and get into the film. So as Aaron referenced as we came on, we are reviewing today. This is Spinal Tap. It is a 1984 musical mockumentary comedy film directed by Rob Reiner, and it stars Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer. For anyone that is not familiar with this film, it is basically about a fictional rock band known as Spinal Tap. And it's very much done in the style of, like, you know, rock mockumentary or rock documentaries types of things. Like, that's really what it's meant to ape, is kind of like a behind the scenes look at, like, this rock band. But this rock band is like, they were never as big as they ever thought they were, and they're declining from what little fame they ever had. And it's just, you know, it's just a fun, you know, setup. And I mean, if anyone is familiar with any of Christopher Guest's other mockumentaries, it's very much like, this is basically just the first of that. You know, it's just, you know, there's a simple setup that's very easy to kind of get, and then, you know, you've got basically a group of people that know each other and have worked together that just improv very well, and they just kind of take each other's leads, and they, you know, create this thing, this movie. I will say this is one of those that I also had not seen, and we got to see it. This is the what did it say? It was like the 50th or something?
41st.
Is it?
Yeah.
Let's see. It's 84. So yeah. I think the reason that it came out this year was because they're doing a sequel.
Apparently.
Yeah, they actually promoted it at the end, and I was like, oh, like at first I thought it was like just a joke, and then like they put up, like, number one, the scene they showed looked legit. Like, it was like, this looks like, you know, this could be a real movie. And then they put up the date, and I was like, oh, because it is.
And it said like September 13th.
So that's, you know, I imagine that we'll probably go see that when it comes out at some point. But looks pretty good. But let's talk about this one. So, you know, obviously neither one of us had seen this before.
Yeah.
But I had told you a little bit about this, but you'd never seen any of these types of films. I mean, you've seen, have you seen mockumentary style stuff?
Some smaller mockumentary things, but not a lot.
Like, have you ever seen The Office or Parks and Rec or any of those television shows? Yeah, okay. So, you know, you're familiar with the mockumentary style.
Yes.
But, you know, you hadn't seen Christopher Guest's particular brand or flavor of this type of thing. So, did you have any idea of what to expect? And did this meet, surpass any expectations that you had, or did you really have any expectations?
I kind of had some expectations, but to kind of say, they were almost immediately shattered.
Okay.
I did not like, I knew it was gonna be goofy,
right,
silly comedy, but I didn't expect Spinal Tap to be so Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's part of the few realistic things that the movie has. That consistent theme of, you're all children.
Sure.
And I think that really contributed to their fall. But even then, it's like just fun to watch.
Right.
Another one of the realistic themes is you still get the drama of them, especially in that one scene where Ian quits. He's like, I'm done with this. Good night.
Yeah.
And some of the goofiest thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's genuine tension, but it's like...
Well, I mean, obviously they're expert improvers, but
Yeah.
it always boggles my mind how committed they are
Yes.
to the bit. Because here's the thing, I mean, I don't know how well they would actually do like in a tour type setting, but they wrote music, they wrote songs for this that sound like legit songs.
Yeah.
I mean, at least musically, lyric wise, they're silly, but that's
Yeah.
kind of the point.
Exactly.
You know?
It just feeds into it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, and it seemed like these guys, as far as I could tell, I mean, definitely there were points at which, they were being, they were kind of showing that at least their understanding of what good music wasn't necessarily the best.
Yeah.
I'm thinking specifically of, Nigel. Is it Nigel? Christopher Guest's character? Yeah, Nigel talking about how what he's known for is his solos, which was honestly, that was kind of painful to watch.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, oh, please stop this. Please stop. This is not enjoyable at all. I mean, it was kind of enjoyable to see how bad it got.
Yeah.
Taking the little mini guitar and rubbing it against his I'm just like, what? Like, I don't know how to feel about this at all right now. It feels a little sexual.
Yeah.
Like, what is
Well,
this?
almost half or over sometimes the whole movie felt sexual.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's a rock band.
Yeah.
There's definitely that type of thing going on. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it is set during they're a British band, which what I think is so funny is that you've got Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, Harry Shearer. They're all American. None of them are British, but they have decided to do a play a British kind of more 70s era.
Yeah.
Like I think their inspiration was probably something akin to like the Stones that started in the 60s and kind of because honestly their trajectory was kind of similar because you see that the earlier incarnation of like what they looked like that very kind of like more clean cut looking band like both the Stones and the Beatles looked like in the 60s, and then eventually they transitioned into like the feathered hair and the odd looks, and I mean Harry Shearer's character half the time was dressed as like a leather daddy. It was like what is going on here? Just very interesting looks and kind of things. But yeah, so that's like the type of band that they're playing, and they're like apparently they had come over and done an American tour previously, and at least the way they felt it had done pretty well. And I mean, it does seem like they were more successful than they currently are.
Yeah.
But at this point in their careers, nothing's really clicking.
Yeah.
They're getting, they're in pretty like more theaters than like arenas.
Yeah.
And even those are getting canceled. And so like it's just and I mean like to me that's more interesting for this style of story than if they had pitched them as like super uber successful and stuff like that. Also, it's probably easier to afford as well
because they have less spaces to worry about. And all that.
Yeah, exactly. As far as, for the filming and stuff like that. But it does, like, knowing that they're in those smaller venues, it does make, like, the one scene, which is honestly one of the more well-known scenes from this film, where they get lost on their way to the stage, which is based on, like, actual stories from actual bands, like not being able to find the stage, on their way to the stage. But they get lost on their way to the stage, and I'm just like, this is a tiny theater. There's not much that much space for them to get lost in. If it were a huge stadium, I could kind of see that, but with it being in a tiny theater, I'm like, I'm not gonna really poke many holes in that. It's I'll forgive that. It's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
But like, what I want to give you the chance to talk a bit more. What really struck you about this film? What were some of your favorite bits and things like that?
I think what struck me, I'm kind of stuck between two things that I'm still deciding on what the second is.
Well, I mean, start talking about the first thing that you think of.
The first is like, no matter what happened, even towards the latter half, right before the end when it picked up a little bit more, no matter how far down the track we're done for, they kept going.
Yeah.
It would either keep getting funnier or the plot would stay interesting.
Yeah.
Especially, like, one of my favorite bits I enjoyed was over the cover dispute.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ian is just like, okay, we're better than the White Album.
Right.
Let's just flip it. And just void black.
Yeah. Which, I mean, when I see that, I'm like, okay, that's because, when they brought up the problem with the cover, he's just like, the cover and the executive, which I was surprised, played by a very young Fran Drescher, was surprised to see her in this movie. But she brought up, she's like, if your band's good, the cover does not need to be that flashy.
Yeah.
I mean, the White Album sold and it was literally just white. So it's fun. And so he, like you said, he decided to flip it.
Yep.
The problem with that is Spinal Tap is not where the Beatles were when they put out the White Album. So they do need something a little bit more eye-catching.
Yeah.
Maybe not the cover that they described.
Yeah.
Which my favorite retort to that was, well, you should see the cover they wanted to do, and I'm like, that's not better.
I think, of course, it was from Nigel. Nigel is stupid.
Yeah. Well,
and it's really funny.
Nigel is Christopher Guest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, yeah.
His comment on the album cover was like, it's like they possibly figured how black you could make this. None. How much more black could you make this?
How much more black could it be?
None.
It's very black.
It's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
black.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's yeah.
I still don't think I have a second thing that really caught me, but it was very consistent and constant.
Sure.
With its how it engages you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even if, not every single moment is laugh out loud hilarious. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it takes a little bit to build up to a joke, but at the same time, because it is filmed in that mockumentary style, if it was like an airplane, like jokes on jokes on jokes on jokes on jokes, it would read more scripted.
Yes.
Than it does in this style, because in this style it reads like they didn't have a script, which I don't know if they really did, to be honest. Like, I mean, let me see. I mean, yeah, the written by is literally just the leads and Rob Reiner, Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, Harry Shearer, and Rob Reiner. They are listed as the writers, which could have been as extensive as writing a good number of the jokes, or it could have just been, well, this scene is going to happen, and we'll figure out what happens when it happens, and then this scene is going to happen. Right. Well, I mean,
they did really well, and I love proper improv. It's so funny.
I mean, like, I'm sure that some of the stuff, like the stuff related to like the props, there was probably a bit more scripting, like with the with the amplifiers, that they had to make an amplifier thing that went all the way up to 11, so they had to at least come up with that joke. Now, I'm sure that he probably, the way that it was actually done in the film, he put a little bit more on it. Same thing with the Stonehenge prop, which I laughed so hard. Well, like, I mean, when I see it, I'm just like, okay, well, that's going to be interesting. But when it actually shows up on stage and they're lowering it down, and it's this tiny little thing, and they put it down, and it like comes up to like maybe their knees, and then they have little people dance around it, and it's just like,
and they're taller.
Yes, yes,
like almost twice as tall.
Which, I mean, the thing I'm thinking is that, okay, I'm thinking that they must have, because, if it had been as big as they wanted it to be, it feels like they hired the little people for perspective.
Yeah.
And so if they had, they wanted, I think he meant it to be 18 feet tall, but he wrote 18 inches. He just doesn't know the difference in the markings. And so, they made it 18 inches high.
Yeah.
But if it were 18 feet, you don't need little people for perspective for that necessarily. But I'm just like, yeah, if it was for perspective because you knew it was going to be smaller, I mean, like you said, they're still bigger than an 18-inch thing. It was just really funny. It was really funny. But yeah, I mean, and the way that everything develops, where they eventually, Nigel gets mad, leaves the band, comes back and is like, hey guys, because they're literally, everybody else is like, well, I guess this is the end of the band. Yeah. I really envy us. Yeah. Because it's like they know that they're done. Which really they kind of are. Like, even if Nigel were in the band in America, they're done.
Yeah. But
then Nigel comes in and is like, hey, we're big in Japan. Let's tour Japan.
Yeah, we're 5 on this chart in Japan.
Yeah. And so it's like, all right, guys, go hit Japan.
And then the drummer.
Do it.
I was waiting the whole time for something to happen.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, it's very much like a Chekhov's gun. Type of thing. They mention the fact, when it was just the first 2, I was like, okay, but by the time they mentioned the 3rd drummer died, I'm like, okay, when is this guy gonna die?
Yeah.
At some point this guy's gonna die. And that guy didn't get to talk much. He did
the piano, which I thought was weird.
No, he really just spoke, I think, at the end over the credits. That's the only time they let him speak. He was weird, though.
He was a weirdo.
He was weird looking. I mean, it really worked for like what they had to do.
Yeah.
But he, number one, was it just me or did he look older than everybody else?
He did. He had under the eye.
Yeah. And then, of course, the drummer looked like the youngest member of the band. But I loved he actually did his interview in like the bathtub, and he's just like, Rob Reiner's asking him, so, were you worried about the fact that all of their drummers died? And he's like, they told me that, and I'm just like, statistically, it's got to end at some point.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, it's got to end at some point, right? But then he just spontaneously combusts.
Like the other one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really funny. All right. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about in relation to this film?
I think really the only other thing that I really, really enjoyed were the parts that were out of it that are more documentary-ish, where he was directly interviewing them, but the whole time it was just Nigel and the blonde one, the main one.
Oh, David.
David,
yeah. Played by
and
Michael
it was
McKean.
Just those two talking.
Yeah.
But it kind of worked out, and I still really liked it.
Yeah, the talking heads were fun. Yeah, I know that's the name of a band, but that's also
the talking people.
Yeah,
the faces.
Yeah, when they do those like interviews and it's like just a person talking to the camera, that's called a talking head. You gave me a look. And, but yeah.
That's what happens when you're musically interested.
Yeah. All right. Well, then we want to go ahead and let people know how you can get in contact with us. So, of course, you can check us out on our socials at The Flying Cow Pod. You can also email at theflyingcowpod@gmail.com. Make sure to check out everything that we have going on in those areas. But right now, it is time to decide what the next film we are going to watch is going to be. First of all, Aaron, I have to ask, are we doing the seen wheel or the unseen wheel?
Ooh.
Have you not decided?
Let's keep doing the unseen. I want to see the seen one.
Sure.
Because I know how good they are already.
Sure. All right. So we are going to find our unseen wheel. And we're going to give that a spin. Aaron's just got to take a second to find it. Got a lot of tabs open there, Aaron.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. He's scrolling.
Wait.
Yeah. How many tabs do you have open?
Too many.
Apparently.
There it is.
Okay, there it is. All right, and this is the unseen wheel?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can tell just by glancing at it. All right, so let's go ahead and let's give that baby a spin.
Really, really slowly.
There are so many slices here, you cannot tell that it's moving.
It's slowing down. I think it's actually getting close.
Bling.
Gangs of New York. I know you're upset.
Okay. All right. No, I'm just going to say this. We will watch Gangs of New York, but we are also going to watch something else by Martin Scorsese. Because the fact that Gangs of New York is the Scorsese that was picked for this movie, I'm just like, really? Okay. All right. But we'll see how that goes. I mean, who knows? You might. Honestly, you probably will enjoy it more than I do. But we'll see how it goes. But until that time, moo.